In the transition to college class, I was trying to find a way to help my students understand that each and every day matters in their work ethic and their ability to perform at their maximum ability, and to try to inspire them to do some self-evaluation and reflection. We've had 4 days in class already this quarter, and there are a few students who need a little nudging and coaching and mentoring to be on time, to stop chit-chat when it's work time, and to really stay on task and get the jobs done. Now, the whole connection that I'm trying to make for them is to understand that when they go into their program, they're going to be in a classroom typically 6 hours a day. On top of that, they have family and maybe work and study time that they have to do, so we can't waste time. So every minute counts. So today in class, when they came in, I told them that we were going to figure out as a group what we had to do to get a raise. And I didn't tell them that this was a self-evaluation. I just asked them, if they went to work, how are they going to get a raise? Therefore, we began to make a list. And we had several students start with comments like, be friendly and be nice. And I said, how can you judge that? How do you know? And then we began to hone our language around professional language, teamwork, other things that businesses use to determine whether or not a person is effectively participating to an organization. Our ultimate list was to provide excellent customer service, to be on time, to do our job, whatever the person's job is, not somebody else's job, but to do their job, to take initiative. This was one of the gray areas where people said, well, I want to do more than just my job, and we discussed about helping others fulfill projects and other things. So take initiative. Know your job. Know what you're supposed to do. Your attendance. This is a big one for our students because sometimes they think a basic studies class doesn't really matter if they come or not. It matters very much. Do stuff in a timely manner. I have very, very tight turnaround times in the transitions class because I want the students to realize that teachers are not going to slide dates just because they have a social event at home. I want them to get into the habit of meeting multiple deadlines, multiple days a week, not having one project 3 weeks out. So I try to emulate as much as possible the classroom environment of our college. Keep current by learning new skills. This is a big one. They're learning new skills every single day. In this transition class, our students were given something I call the PEG, the Professional Email Guidelines. When they email me, they must follow the professional email guidelines. Otherwise, I send it back to them saying, unfortunately, I cannot respond to your email efficiently and effectively because you did not follow the PEG. Amazingly, within the first week of class, I am getting extremely professional, high-quality emails from my students. Another thing is that they're learning how to use readability and spell check for their documents and how to cut and paste and double check before they do an email. These are new skills that they're learning. Next week, they'll be working on their own Prezi showcases of questions that they're answering about their careers. So I try to teach them new skills in a real environment. They need to be able to give a quality performance each and every day that they come to class, just like when you go to work. You need to be on your game. And then to be solid in your team member skills, and so solid team performance. So and these were the ideas that were generated by the class, and then we honed the language a little bit, and then I handed them a square piece of paper, and the instructions were to write your name at the top. And then looking at the 10 traits of what you need to do to get a raise, I asked them to give them a score, 7 out of 10. And if they chose something like 7 out of 10, they had to write the 3 areas that they were weak. And my thinking on this was that they could do some self-analysis. Was I late to class this week? Did I finish everything I was supposed to? Am I participating in the team discussions and the team meetings that we're having? So I wanted them to do some self-analysis. Then they turned those papers into me, and today, before the end of class, I read those, and I responded with changing the scores to be what I, as a boss or a teacher, felt that they were. Almost across the board, they were too hard on themselves. So if someone gave a 7 and chose 3 things, most often, not in all cases, but in most often, I would give them an 8 out of 10, and then I would write myself in my own handwriting what I felt that they had to improve. Those 2 items out of the 10 that they had to improve. This will be done each of the weeks in my transition class so that they have an ongoing relationship with self-evaluation and reflection about how they're performing in class. And in this class, we have people from all over the world. Many of them have never done a self-evaluation. So this is a new cultural experience and a new way of understanding workplace tasks, and it's fantastic. The response when I handed back the paper and I said to them, oh my gosh, you were too rough on yourself. You're really a 9 out of a 10, not a 7 out of 10. They just beamed because they got feedback on their own self-feedback. So this is something we do as a unit, as a measurement of how we're feeling about the classwork and what we're doing in transition to college class.